every piece of armor we have talked about this week has been defensive. The belt holds you together. The breastplate guards your heart. The shoes keep your footing. The shield stops the fire. The helmet protects your mind. Every single one of those is designed to help you stand, to survive, to not be destroyed. And then Paul gives you a weapon. Take the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. This is the only offensive weapon in the entire list. Everything else is protection. The sword is the attack. And the thing God puts in your hand when it's time to advance, the one weapon He issues to every single believer, regardless of platform, background, education, or history, is His Word. The Greek word Paul uses here for sword is not the large battlefield sword. It's the machera, a short, precise, double-edged blade used in close combat. Not a weapon for distance, a weapon for when the enemy is right in your face. Close, personal, intimate combat. And the Word of God, specific, precise, applied, is exactly that kind of weapon. We know this because we saw it demonstrated. Matthew chapter 4. Jesus in the wilderness, 40 days without food, physically depleted, at his most humanly vulnerable. And the enemy comes. Not with a frontal assault, with temptation, with suggestion, with the same old strategy he's always used, twisting what is true. And 3 times the enemy attacks. And 3 times Jesus answers the exact same way. It is written. It is written. It is written. Not a theological argument, not an emotional response, not personal willpower or spiritual discipline. The word, specific, precise, applied to the exact attack. And every time he swung the sword, the enemy had nothing left. Because you cannot counter the Word of God with a lie. The sword doesn't argue, it cuts. Hebrews 4:12 says, "For the Word of God is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the division of soul and of spirit, of joints and of marrow, and discerning the thoughts and intentions of the heart." Living. The Word of God is not a historical document you consult. It is a living weapon that does something every time it is picked up and used. It discerns. It cuts. It separates what is real from what is a lie. It reaches places inside you that nothing else can get to. Here is what I want to be honest with you about. Most Christians own a sword they almost never pick up. There are more Bibles in American homes right now than at any point in history. And Bible engagement, time actually spent reading, studying, applying the Word, is at a historic low. We have carried the sword to church and back so many times it has never once left the scabbard. And then we wonder why the enemy seems to be winning the close combat of daily life. You cannot swing a sword you do not know. A soldier who has never trained with his weapon is holding a liability, not an asset. The reason the enemy pushes so hard against Bible reading, makes it feel boring, makes it feel irrelevant, makes it feel like you don't have time, is because he knows exactly what that sword does when it gets picked up by someone who knows how to use it. In April 2026, the world is generating more words than any civilization in history. AI is writing content, producing media, shaping narratives at a scale no human could match. And in the middle of that flood, the Word of God stands as the only source of truth that does not shift, does not have an agenda, does not have a bias toward keeping you engaged. It just cuts. Every time, in every direction it needs to cut. Here is your move to close this series. Pick up the sword, not as a concept, as a daily practice. Find one passage this week and stay with it. Not a highlight, not a quote image. Sit with it. Ask what it means. Ask what it changes. Ask what attack it answers. And then use it. When the lie comes, say, "It is written." When the fear comes, say, "It is written." When the enemy suggests you are too far gone, or too insignificant, or too late, it is written. You have spent this week putting on the full armor of God. You are covered. You are grounded. You are protected. Now advance. Pick up the sword and fight.